If you had a chance to be a wizard or a witch, what would you choose? To be a good guy or a villain? In today's video, we will explain the life of Draco Malfoy, Harry Potter's nemesis. From his early life to his days in Hogwarts, and after Hogwarts. Here's all you need to know about this not-so-likable character. So, shall we begin? Early life. Draco Lucius Malfoy was born on June 5, 1980, to Lucius and Narcissa Malfoy, who were both born into old, wealthy, pure-blood families. Draco grew up as an only child at Malfoy Manor, the magnificent mansion in Wiltshire, which had been in his family's possession for many centuries. He was treated like a triply special child, firstly as a wizard, secondly as a pureblood, and thirdly as a member of the Malfoy family. Draco was raised in an atmosphere of regret that the Lord Voldemort had not succeeded in taking command over the wizarding world, so his parents taught him not to talk about that topic outside the family and close friends, or Daddy might get into trouble. Draco was also raised with prejudice against anyone who is not a pure-blooded wizard or witch, or anyone who supports these types of people. This kind of behavior is seen throughout the whole series. Hogwarts Preparation. While preparing for Hogwarts, when Draco went to Diagon Alley to shop for school supplies in 1991, he met the boy who lived in Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions, but he didn't know who he was at the moment. He made a silly speech about Muggle-borns and Rubeus Hagrid, but otherwise acted in quite friendly manner towards Harry. After he found out that the boy whom he met was the famous Harry Potter, Draco offered his hand to form a friendship. However, Harry refused. Then Draco realized that the hopes of the ex-Death Eaters that Harry Potter was another and better Voldemort are completely unfounded and false. First year. After getting at Hogwarts, Draco was sorted into the Slytherin house. The Malfoys had traditionally been in the Slytherin house for centuries and strongly disapproved of any relatives who did not follow in this tradition. During their first flying lesson, Draco attempted to get Harry into trouble, challenging him to a duel, but lost to Harry. Well, Harry didn't find any trouble. Draco just helped Harry to get permission to join his house's Quidditch team as a first-year student. Later in the year, Draco informed Professor McGonagall about Harry's activities and was put to detention as well for being out past curfew. There is not much going on for Draco in his first year, but at the end of the year, he was overjoyed that Slytherin House was on course to win the House Cup. However, they lost due to the heroism of Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville. Second year. Again, before starting their second year, Draco met Harry and company at Diagon Alley while shopping for school. He started to mock Harry, and shortly after Ginny tries to defend Harry, he mocks her as his girlfriend. After the beginning of the second school year, Draco was given the position of seeker for his Slytherin Quidditch team. However, Hermione speculated that he got that position after his father, Lucius, bought the entire team new Nimbus 2001s. Draco responded on this accusation with hate towards Hermione, calling her a filthy little mudblood. Draco later on participated in the dueling club, and of course, he dueled Harry Potter. He conjured a snake, but Harry spoke to the snake in Parseltongue, and the attack was withdrawn. In his second school year, Draco didn't do much. His father's instructions were to keep his head down. Third year. He started off his third year by mocking Harry's reaction to the Dementors that were near Hogwarts that year. Despite being terrified of them himself, similar to the previous years, Draco wanted to sabotage Harry's performance during the Quidditch match against Ravenclaw. However, he failed miserably and ended up costing the Slytherin house 50 points. While in a class taught by Rubeus Hagrid, Draco provoked the Hippocraft Buckabeak, got himself injured, and attempted to use the incidents against Hagrid to get him fired. For this action, Draco gets a nice slap from Hermione, and we definitely love that. 4th year. Well, in his 4th school year, Draco showed his envy and hate towards Harry, and everyone Harry liked. During the 1994 Quidditch World Cup, Draco was seated behind the famous trio and the Weasleys. He started mocking the Muggles who were tormented by a group of Death Eaters, especially Hermione. As the school year began, Hogwarts hosted the Tri-Wizard Tournament. Harry was chosen as the 4th champion, and Draco was showing his envy towards Harry. He started giving false information about Harry, Hagrid, and Hermione, which was written by Rita Skeeter for the Daily Prophet. At the end of the year, Draco mocked Harry about his choice to stand against Voldemort and ridiculed Cedric's death. 5th year. School life took an upturn in Draco's 5th year. Although forbidden to discuss at Hogwarts what he had heard at home, Draco took pleasure in petty triumphs. He was chosen as a prefect for his house, and Harry was not. At that time, Dolores Umbridge joined the staff as a teacher for Defense Against the Dark Arts. And as Draco, she didn't like Harry as much as he did. Draco joined Professor Umbridge's inquisitorial squad and made it his business to try and discover what Harry and a gang of disparate students were up to, as they formed and trained in secret as the forbidden organization, Dumbledore's Army. Later on, Draco's father was seen participating in the battle as a Death Eater and was imprisoned in Azkaban for his crimes. Draco was very upset by this and blamed Harry. 6th year. In his 6th year, Draco joined the Death Eaters, replacing his incarcerated father. On the way to Hogwarts, Draco bragged about having been given a mission to his fellow Slytherin students. As the time progressed, Draco became very afraid that he would fail in his seemingly impossible task, and that task was to kill the Hogwarts headmaster, Albus Dumbledore. For doing this task, Draco trained and improved his own skills and became capable of blocking jinxes non-verbally. He was trained by his own maternal aunt, Bellatrix Lestrange. For the mission to be successful, Draco needed to fix the Vanishing Cabinet. However, he feared that he would be not unable to repair it, so he tried 2 assassination attempts on Dumbledore, but failed. Proceeding to the top of the astronomy tower, Draco confronted Professor Dumbledore. He then disarmed him, and you probably know that he unknowingly gained the allegiance of the Elder Wand. After the Battle of the Astronomy Tower, Draco could no longer return to Hogwarts. 7th year. Draco continued his Death Eater activities before the beginning of the 1997-1998 school year. Due to his helpful role in Dumbledore's death, the Dark Lord liberated Lucius from Azkaban. However, the Malfoys had lost much of their influence in the Death Eater circles. Draco attended his 7th year of Hogwarts that year. During the Easter holidays, he was called upon by his parents and Aunt Bellatrix Lestrange to confirm the identities of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, who were caught by a group of snatchers. As you know, Draco despised Harry, but in this particular moment said he didn't recognize the trio. Later in the evening, the prisoners managed to escape, and Draco's wand was taken by Harry. After hearing this news, Lord Voldemort detained the Malfoys. Battle of Hogwarts. Later that same year, during the Battle of Hogwarts, Draco and his friends chose to remain in the school as their fellow Slytherins evacuated in order to bring Harry to Lord Voldemort. Draco, along with Crabbe and Goyle, followed the trio into the Room of Requirement, where he would attempt to capture Harry and retrieve the item Harry was looking for, Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem. Despite Draco telling his friends that Harry must be brought back alive, Crabbe conjured Fiend Fire. However, Crabbe lost control over the curse, and the Room of Requirement quickly filled with fire. Harry and Ron managed to save only Draco and Goyle from the fire. Did you know that Draco's action of disarming Dumbledore before his death ultimately resulted in the defeat of the Dark Lord? Well, if it wasn't for Draco, Harry would not have a chance against the Lord Voldemort, especially when Voldemort had the Elder Wand. After the defeat of the Dark Lord, the Malfoys sat in the Great Hall looking uncertain of their place during the victory celebrations. After Hogwarts. After the defeat of Lord Voldemort, Draco and his family avoided imprisonment in Azkaban due to their last-minute switch in allegiance. Draco later married Astoria Greengrass, the younger sister of fellow Slytherin classmate who had gone through a similar conversion from pure blood ideal to a more accepting and tolerant way of life. The two had a son together named Scorpius Malfoy. The kid was raised by his mother not to believe that Muggles and Muggle-borns were scum. Draco raised Scorpius to be a kind kid and more accepting Malfoy than he was in his youth. While sending his son off for the first year at Hogwarts, Draco greeted Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ginny at King's Cross Station. Although hating him in their school years, Draco and Harry had a better relationship later in life. We end our video here, guys. If we missed some crucial facts about Draco, let us know in the comments section below. If you want more content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notifications as soon as our new video pops up. Thank you for watching.